First pick again?
I don't think you can pull that kind of gambit twice in a row. Unless you're that confident in Velvet's Edith.
And it's just gonna be Egypt saying, hey, let's just try to run it back again. At this point, you're not gonna rush on Valentina because you know the hero pool of Ginny. She has enough to actually answer that as well. So this time it's a change. They go for the alpha now. It was a stunner performance by Vival. It was like 6-3 and 11, 6-3 and 14 in her the previous game. So that's what they decided to look into the respect.
Yeah, Sunlight did well in game 1 on the alpha too. So I think her playing more of the mouse, the cat-mouse relationship in game 2 might have changed their tempo. So this should be back in her wheelhouse, momentum-wise.
What are we thinking here? Hylos Phobius? Hylos?
XP jungle, it's gotta be the XP jungle swing. Or rather, you don't have to rush the 8 jungle because you already see the alpha.
Yeah. Could be Roman XP. They also don't need to rush mid. Oh, they rush gold. Okay.
Shell's had it. I don't like playing these out of meta picks anymore.
Indonesia's gonna play to end this before 15 minutes.
Power pick.
Yeah, they're just chasing power picks, fast scaling right now. Again, you don't want to, as much as possible, don't want to see the Alpha plus the Harris together.
Do you want to see the Lunox for Egypt?
It's a really for my taste about playing into what Indonesia want to do as well. Okay, so they go into the... I mean, Cecilian isn't just a late game hero. He does very well with his mid-game spike, especially once he has locked in after the Clock of Destiny. Usually the glowing one. Are they just gonna rock Phobius now? But then if ever Indonesia might just pick up the Eve as the third pick with their jumpers later. If not Eve, then they can still go
Phobius or CC. Oh, Edith. Alright. Reverting comfort. And they're forcing Indonesia to pick the Valentina.
Which might actually be tougher this time around. With the Alpha on the board too?
Yep.
If I'm Indonesia, just go Eve, honestly.
Yeah, don't fall for it.
Want to go for jungle here?
Nolan.
Not the Nolan.
I mean, typically Vival has a lot of heroes under her belt.
But it's still export, like it comes out in the second phase. Not bad.
Talking about export is her other armor might actually be burnt out very quickly. But that is still an option that they could go for.
Nope.
You know, still Nolan. They could admit. Well, to be fair, Shinny has a massive hero pool. With the low age, you can even go. She can go Cyclops.
Yep.
Probably not here, but that just shows her options.
I wonder if Kadita's an option here.
I like the Kadita.
Actually, yeah, with those three alone, I'm already happy with the Kadita.
You end much faster.
If I'm Egypt, I want to consider banning it, yeah. Because I think if they start banning out roamers here, that's going to be Indonesia's time that they're probably considering the Kadita.
Or they can also just do as they did all series long, attack gold laners.
They already have Harith. Oh yeah, you'll have to commit one to take away a good matchup for the Harith.
The respect to Melissa's Melissa's names. Her name's Melissa.
Interchangeable.
I think now, yeah, it's interchangeable.
That was correct.
Yes.
Yep, attacking mid laners.
Yeah,
so they're making sure that Chinny's pick is manageable.
I just still want Indonesia to consider really going for backline type of mages. I wouldn't mind the Auroras, Vexanas, Eves, Chile.
Yeah, I think they can afford more utility.
Zero's up. Zero WEC? Like the standard Vexana,
Ginny?
Aurora.
Let me double check. No, her picks have been unique.
Chinny's always been
Louis.
the loco.
Yeah, Louis, Sicilian, Kalita, Cyclops.
The Gila.
It is Gila. Gila picks.
Gila means crazy, guys.
There's a 1-1, all right.
Yeah, good ban of the Valentine as well.
So they've had it. Coach, it's my turn to win the lane.
Yeah.
Coach Case, ban the 1-1.
In the battle. I think you're right. They might have to go to Kalita. If ever pick your mid laner last.
Yeah, keep the surprise up there.
Yeah.
You know you're going up against Sicilian, so save the Kadita. I don't like the there you go. I don't like the Cyclops to get here, but
Okay. Control. Cyclops. Oh, even more so now. The split. The 4-1 split has changed. For Indonesia, they can go 3-2. It can be Hylos plus the mid plus the Harith, and then it's going to be, if ever, we're going to need to see it coming from off angles. And then now the no-link split pushing the other one as well. Sicilian, I think no more magic damage. I'm okay if those get more magic damage. You might go Kali. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they banned out the Valentina.
they can go
Phobius is still open.
Kali Clint. Is the Clint safe? You can purify Clint.
And if ever, yes, you would need to.
You can't Lunox Harith for the Harith anymore. Sword magic. Oh, correct. Safe pick must go.
They're going for their power picks. Okay. The fact that Indonesia has a Cho, Harith, and Roman together, the Roman trio, it might not be as clear cut as that, but it also just might be as clear cut as that.
I'm excited. What is this going to be?
Is it Gila or is it like vanilla?
Exactly.
I mean, you still, again, the Eve, Vex, Aurora, they're also okay. Maybe Eve, they might think twice. Oh, we know Eve is okay into the Bellery.
But not into the Sicilian. You have suddenly you're tight at range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Bosco. And the Alpha.
I just actually play into that. Yeah.
They'll deal with it.
They'll deal with it. That's what they said.
They have a superior box, at least.
Yeah.
Egypt has a good range, but Indonesia has...
So, like, honestly, in Game 3, they got that locked in here. So hopefully, Nucci's able to move around the map because we're jumping into the third and final game, the decider, to find out who's going to be moving forward for the grand final. And we take a look once again at the emblems here, falling into place. More or less the same, you know, nothing too crazy sticking out here. Still, you got that Primal Wrath over here for Velvet. But this time around, City's not going to be able to just take that, you know?
Yep.
No Valentina, great ban that we saw earlier on.
That's why it really is already super different the way Indonesia wants to tackle this game. Game number 2, still leaning heavily on a lot of outplay situations with Valentina to try to get these angles. But on a Iesf, you're not as creative. All you need to do is just sit down,
Just
pop into
post up.
RWM, post up, and try to get a win. So for Indonesia, much more straightforward here. But it's strange that they went for the Iesf here, plus the Nolan, right? The Nolan is kind of the opposite of the Iesf. He wants to go for different angles. Vivian doing a good job here in the mid lane already, and Nucci has been a very annoying Sicilian, and that means really good, because, man, how do you get 4 kills at the start of the game? That's just some ridiculous stats from Nucci.
I mean, from game 1 to game 2, it was a little bit different of an early game 4, but nonetheless, she had a phenomenal time. So if Indonesia wants to win the series here and lock in that spot in the grand final, oh, hold on.
Nucci might be forced to flicker, and yet that she does. Fevin already utilizing her to revitalize, and so it's also a bit different. No vengeance, it's revitalize. Cine just zoning Nucci away from this wave.
And that's why, you know, when we saw, hold on, no, okay, they are going to miss that, so Sunlight won't land that. Thought she was going to be able to get that, but, you know, we asked this earlier when we saw the Belric the previous game, that vengeance was picked up. Okay, Vivian, she's,
Taunt finds 2, Vivian with a flicker out, the Shunpu too!
Wow.
I thought for sure Vivian would have died there under the turret, but no, they survived. Vivo, looks like Sunlight wants to actually walk up. I don't know if this is going to be a retry, not worth it. Yeah, Sunlight chooses to just go onto the turtle.
Okay, that 2 close moments already.
Way too close.
Even down in the goal lane, looks like, you know, Shell's really kind of playing up a little bit aggressive. Sunlight's going to defensively use that Spear of Alpha. She'll take the purple buff instead. Both junglers focusing on getting these buffs, and they'll start it up. Indonesia looks to have the advantage in terms of the space for this first turtle. Sunlight waiting. She doesn't have the ultimate, though, but they're going to go for it.
Yeah, good stun over to set up for the RWM. Now Sanguine Claws only onto Vivian. SOD will land as well, but for Egypt, they will just play it slow. They know Indonesia got the first turtle. No use of actually forcing out a fight.
There's a whole lot of these exchanges happening early on, these little skirmish fights where, you know, battle spells are burnt out. Some of the ultimates, now that everybody does have those available, are going to be crucial here. Vivian, though, part of this is, wow, okay, I guess, you know, she was expecting to set things up with the ride. Look, gold lane, though.
Yeah, Fracture used up already, and Names is definitely having a tough time this time around in the bottom lane against that Harith on the Moskov. Does look like Chell will respect it, though, despite the fact that Names is already very low. Notices that everybody's just been missing here. Might be rotating down below. Chell will cancel the recall. Man, always this crazy laner, Chell.
What do we like better, man? Do we like the Revitalize more for the Belric? What does Gani like?
He flicker.
He likes a flicker.
He doesn't like
Okay,
Revitalize.
that's right.
Wait, a lot of damage up top. Velvet's going to be picked off. First blood over with the Fracture. City in the mid lane. The way to Dragon from Vivian a bit too late. Nucci was able to flicker in time. Sunlight Spear of Alpha. Good RWM to stop them from getting the kill out of Vivian. She's alive again. Keeps on getting the bad impacts. Will be slowed down. City's very low. Fumieko will be trying to go in. And in the end, you can see that they have actually given Vivo so much space to take the entirety of the turret gold up top.
You know, in moments like that, you might be wondering why. Why are they still there? Well, that's all part of the plan when it comes to the pressure across the map. Good decisions there, too, from Indonesia to be able to do that. And I'm still surprised, you know, this Vivian, she's gotten away multiple times now already, just with a sliver of HP left. Vivian.
Rapid Dryad faded out. That's all they wanted, right, Vivian? Walks back up, trying to go for an angle. Sanguine Claws from Nucci and the Bat Feast, too. A lot of poke down onto Cine.
Good damage. Turtle's up, though, so on both sides, you know, some of these resources down. Talking about the 2 flickers. Even that Revitalize still not up. Chell.
Zaman Force Chell should be able to go for the outplay here. The Spear of Misery out as well, but Chell actually wants to go for the reinitiation all the way deep into Names. You gotta respect the damage from Sunlight. The Alpha's there, the SOD! Will she go for it? RWM locking Sunlight down. Sunlight will be slayed here. Vivian just walks up, goes for the kick, kicks her down, and it is a turtle 2 for Vivo up top. This time it's already so different from game 1 and 2.
I feel like there's so many of these instances from multiple members from Indonesia where they're threading the needle of life and death. How many times now getting away? Another initiation from Fumi Echo.
Yeah, glorious pathway down to Nucci. They will respect it though. Vivian doesn't have the kick, so there's no real use to actually go in and commit that hard.
I think part of this is literally the game plan of this. Let's get out that Revitalize. You know, even if Fumi Echo drops down Glorious Pathway, they want to make that an option. Like, can we get a Revitalize down? Because then at least that's one battle spell down. Look at the bottom lane though. The focus here once again.
Saman Force already names. Gonna be solo kill. No, just poke from the side from City. From that far away, this is why the Eve gets so much value right now, especially when you have so much prior to mid lane. Vivian, Kudo over to Pivot, goes for the way to Dragon. Pivot, option to Revitalize. There's gonna be the Earth Shatter to cancel out the way to Dragon and the Spear of Alpha. Two of Vivian just shut moves out of there. That's a flicker out as Nucci tries to go for the chase, but the real world manipulation is still on them, and Velvet will take a lot of damage. They get the high-lows in the end, but it's a high-lows traded in for Pivot, and a turret up top. Sunlight gonna be caught. Great dashes from Chell to escape the Spear of Alpha. Now a dive. Jikudo and City with a Void Blast to take Nucci down in the mid lane.
So many good layering of skills happening here from across the board from Indonesia. Even if they don't have to burn some of the ultimates or anything like that, they're still able to capitalize on the skill sets that these heroes bring to the table. And yes, Egypt got that kill earlier on, you know, for Sunlight, but still they expended so much to be able to get that. And now this next turtle coming up in just a few seconds. Indonesia, clear lead, you know, 4,000 ahead. Egypt, a lineup that needs that time to build up here, is going to have to probably just give this up and focus on maybe pushing down some of the tier 1s, maybe farming up what they need to, especially for names, as that third turtle is secured now for Indonesia. They'll look to go ahead and cap out the mid lane, put pressure on the resources coming up here on the buffs. And this might be getting a little bit more difficult for Sunlight to get what she needs here. Vival, go ahead and take that away. You can see the focus on the other side. Vivian providing all that information. And she just finesses her way out of getting caught.
So clinical, so surgical in game number 3. We expected a brawl at least, you know, and after seeing what game number 2 had for us, 30 minutes of just pure action, but now Sunlight slowed down again. Spear of Alpha out defensively. Vivian putting all the pressure down in the bottom lane as well. Chell now just pushing it in. Velvet, she's so far behind on the XP. Vivian goes for the Jikudo, will bait on the Primal Wrath. I think that's already a lot of value. Chell can just go for the turret and it'll be a tier 2 for free towards Indonesia at the 8th minute mark, man.
They're getting everything they need. And Indonesia, this is, you know, that clean gameplay that a lot of people that are watching these girls play for the long time, they've seen them play this kind of game. Yeah. You know, and they've definitely adjusted. I mean, just the series alone, like I was saying, the way that they played against these similar heroes from even the previous game, Indonesia came up with a game plan, they executed it well, and they're doing it near perfectly in game 3. Now for Egypt, on how they're going to be able to adjust themselves for this one to bring it back, you know, a lot of it is just buying that time to get the stacks, to get the damage that you need to deal with this, because as the game goes on and you are lacking some of the damage, oh, hold on.
Rapid Dryad, everything, and Fumi Echo just walks out of it. Pops in Revitalize, gets away. Real inflation.
Whoa.
Into the back. Nucci's going to be zoned completely away there. Velvet already using the Primal Wrath too. So they baited a few resources. Velvet has been able to actually give a bit more space to Sunlight. Both teams now again just respect each other, but look at Vival.
What's she going to be able to do here? Again, turtles up.
She's walking up.
She's going for Nucci.
The assassination flicker out from Nucci. All right. Still though, crazy battle spell to be taken away from the Lord fight, man.
It's the same thing. Yeah, the flicker's gone, and like I was saying, Indonesia has adapted to the Sicilian pick alone. And just because those crucial things are down, this is a free objective.
Yeah.
No contest here on the Lord. And it's getting really difficult now that you hit these the power spikes. And earlier on, what I was saying is, you know, if you're Egypt, you want to buy time to be able to fight. It's because of the front line that is provided from Indonesia. Vivian, I don't know if you could exactly call her a front line. She's everywhere. Like, she's 360, you know, in your face.
Everywhere.
That's what a Cho does. But, you know, Fumi Echo, it's tanky enough now that she doesn't even feel the bad impacts or anything else.
Nope.
So you need so much time to build up on this lineup for Egypt to get enough firepower to contest. And again, Vivian just being a nuisance. You know, she's showing herself on the off angles or the side angles, and Egypt is a little bit worried. It's kind of like they're constantly, you know, head on a swivel, looking all ways, and they're just trying to find how to keep up. Oh,
some on-force in the back of Ryan. Shell just deletes Vivin in the mid lane. That's a tank with a Revitalize.
that's a tree.
That's a tree. That's a beefy tree, but not to Chell. She just bursts her down. Lord up top still going to be used here, as well as another wave is coming down in the mid lane. That's a tier 2. Holy Defense should be propped by this wave, and it does. Now up top, Sunlight caught in the bad spot. RWM to lock her down. The Glorious Pathway to slow her down. Sunlight, the Wishing Lantern, to tinker her down, but she's still able to survive with a sliver of HP. Oh man, the pressure from Indonesia.
They won't let up. You know, this is a massive lead, that the biggest one so far in the series, nearing that 10,000 mark, and looking at the items, they're fully, you know, on their way to getting to where they need. Even this Harith Shell, she's already got the Starlium Scythe, Feather of Heaven, and the Holy Crystal, and that's why she's doing so much damage. And that's not even, you know, discount the fact that there's Eve here setting up that box, the real world manipulation from Cine. That is just doing so much to a point that Egypt, even if they want to fight, they're spending most of their time trying to get out of the real world manipulation. They're just being worked on there whenever that death box is set up. So at this point, Egypt, it's looking grim, it's looking a little bit dire, but they have time. They have 50 seconds to go in and farm up to what they need to. Names specifically, at some point in the game, especially when this, you know, she gets more of these items locked in, she does just pick up a DHS. She might be able to help provide some of that damage towards that front line, but it's still the same. You're not even so much worried about just the front line. You got to be looking behind you too. And Names has had to do that constantly. So has Nucci, and that's why you see Nucci just kind of staying in the back, you know, with her back against these base turrets, because of how active and proactive Vivian and even Vivil have been, putting pressure everywhere. So we're 15 seconds away from that Lord coming up. And Egypt, no other option really but just to kind of wait for those minion waves to push in. They can't get caught off guard.
And Indonesia are playing it so well now to just suffocate Egypt. The way that they're playing, only shoving the waves when they want to actually invade and take away buffs from Egypt. Vivin, every time she walks up a bit too aggressive, the Void Blast catches her, the Glowing Wand ticks down. Sunlight is suffering through the same problem, and the Wishing Lantern too.
Yeah.
From Cine. Oh, he's blocking. What happened to the Lord? It's an Enhanced Lord. Got bursted down. We thought the Lunox and the Alpha, or Lunox Suyo, would be the, you know, one-shot super blitz Lord
The
takers.
timer Lord.
Doesn't seem like Indonesia care that much. They go with a Harith and Nolan and do the same thing.
They do the same thing, and it's just showcasing how far ahead they are right now. You know, 40,000 gold locked in for them, 10,000 ahead of what Egypt has, and that was a BOD picked up by Vivil. Vivil's whole job is literally just to jump into the back lane and burst someone down if she wants to. And with this Lord coming up, down on the bottom side, Egypt has a decision to make. How do they defend this? You know, we always talk about the Sicilian being a great base defender. Well, I'm afraid at this game, like, Nucci just has not had enough time to stack up those stacks for the bad impact. Names will also get in line. And so Indonesia eyeing the top mid. Every single turn as that Lord pushes in, they're going to be forced to fight.
4-man slow, the Glorious Pathway will slow them down. Pippin will just be poked out of existence by the RWM. Sunlight in the mid lane, trying to clear it out. The Fracture does a lot of damage. Sunlight will burst it down by Chell. The Void Blast coming down. Chell, Synchro Fission, almost taking Sunlight down. 2 base turrets out of nowhere. Vivian popping into the conceal. Name's already very low. That's a 3-man Jinku. No, it's a Way of the Dragon to bring Nucci all the way to the back. A wipeout before they ultimately end the game. A reverse sweep for Indonesia in Game 3 in a very, very quick game.
Very quick adjustment coming out from Indonesia in game number 3 to secure them their spot in the grand final. And it just feels like, once again, when it came down to the draft, they were able to counter pick into the Sicilian, into the Belric even. And this time around, just kind of stopping the momentum from Egypt. Nonetheless, great draw from Egypt. One of the first teams to actually have Indonesia feel a little taste of defeat, but the reverse sweep comes in strong in this best-of-3 series.
It looked so good at the start, even in Game 2. They were leading by so much gold, and you can already see that Egypt, slowly but surely, they're catching up.
Yeah.
They're rising to the level of a lot of teams that, I mean, to the team that we've been seeing as the most dominant force in women's MLBB.